Hello and welcome back to our Porsche restoration project. Got our steering wheel all finished up here in the shop and also our gas tank. About what I do on this video, I had intended on uploading some footage on the back side of the engine cover. It's kind of complex on how we got there, but the audio was a real problem on all of those edits, so still trying to work that out. I don't know if I'll be able to work it out, but I'll try my best. Might have to get some different software to clean up the sound on that. Part of the problem is the microphone on my iPhone. I found that if I plug my microphone and headphones in, it filters some of that air sound out of there. But anyways, our steering wheel turned out real nice. I used a product called 2060. This is a PPG clear coat, and it's like a flat finish. And I custom mixed up this gray myself, and we'll go out and take a look at that in a minute, show you how we got there. But real subtle, yeah, it looks real smooth, real soft. I think that's going to look real nice on our dashboard and get that set up. And then also our gas tank, sprayed this out yesterday and put a little bit bigger pattern on this one, as the gas tank seemed to have a bigger pattern. And how to get there on that pattern, I used the Schutz gun. I left my air tip setting the same for doing my smaller parts, and I just backed out the trigger stop, gave a little bit more trigger action on that, and got a bigger pattern, very predictable, larger pattern. So real happy with the way this turned out. So on this video, let's just take a look at how we got here on the steering wheel. Kind of a fun project, and take a look out in the shop and see how we put this all together. Okay, just put down our last coat, third coat of our steering wheel assembly. And yeah, a little bit of a different finish with that third coat. Seems like it's a lot thicker and flows out a lot smoother with one more extra coat on there. However, I'm not going to do 3 coats on our doors because it's going to become so thick when I pull that tape off there. We're going to have a little bit of ridge on it, and I don't want that ridge. You can see by encapsulating this whole thing as one piece, I think that's going to make a real nice transition there when we color our wheel. A lot of material on there, so I've got 2 coats of epoxy under there. I've got 3 coats of our 2K satin. We're going to have 3 coats of base color, and we're going to have 3 coats of clear on this wheel. So by the time we get to the top layer, I have plenty of material on there to hold this thing together. Hopefully give it another 50 years. And these smaller parts drying up real nice. Okay, getting ready to put our color down on our wheel. So what I've done is I've masked off with our vinyl tape right here at the spokes and pressed it down nice and tight so we don't get any bleed under with our color or our clear coat. I'm going to be spraying the clear coat with a PPG 2060, which is a flat type of a clear. I think by the time we get through this wheel, a flat finish will probably be more believable than a high gloss. Originally, when they did these wheels, it looked like they had dipped them or coated them with some kind of a vinyl stretch over the top of it. So anyway, we're just kind of trying to replicate that with modern materials. And then while I've got that 2060 going, that's what I want to use on our undercoating pieces. So I'm going to take these small guys here. These have been shot 3-4 days now, and we're going to try the 2060 out on this and just see if everything's going to go smooth. Better to try it out on a small piece, and if something goes wrong, it won't be hard to redo it. So I just want to make sure it's going to stick well, and the finish is what I'm looking for before we move on to our bigger pieces. Okay, let's go take a look at that color, and then we'll mix up some of our 2060. So here's our 2060. Bought this yesterday, so it's fresh off the shelf. Just using a standard DCX61 mix with that. About $150 for 1 quart with 1 part hardener, and a little bit more milky looking consistency wise than our standard clear coat, our 2021. And I've had really good luck spraying flats. They seem to smooth out and flow out better than a high gloss. So Really be interesting to see how this works on our wheel rim. And then also this is our custom mixed color that I've made up for our wheel. I've kind of determined from photographs that that would be as pretty accurate as I can get it for the original color on that. And then this was the color of our gas tanks. This is a production PPG color, and that's what that looks like. And how I got to this color is I mixed about 50% slate gray as our base color, and then added some of our gas tank color, maybe 25%, and then about 25% black straight up, give or take a little bit. A lot darker than the two grays put together, so be interesting to see how it turns out. So let's get that going, and first we'll put our base down, then we'll actually do some mixing on our 2060. This is a 6 to 1 to 1, so quite a bit different mixing ratio than our 2021. So let's mix up some of this 2060 while our base color is drying. So what I've done is I've stirred this about 10 minutes ago, and with flats I like to stir it, let it set, and then stir it again because it has a tendency to separate, and you get a lot of sediment on the bottom. You get it stirred up really good so you get all the flattening agents to smooth and flow out. If you don't stir it up properly, then what you could get is you could get streaking in your spray out, so you'll have some areas will be flatter than the other if you don't have a proper mix. Okay, so this one's calling out for 6 to 1 to 1. So we're going to put 6 parts of this with 1 part reducer and 1 part DCX 61. And I have not opened this seal yet. This is all fresh from yesterday. So writing my expiration date on here. It's only going to last 2 weeks, and then we got to throw it away. So what I do on my cups is I pre-mark them. Here's our 6 to 1 to 1. And so looks like a lot of material in here for this small wheel, but what I'm going to do is if our sample pieces work out for our undercoating, then I'm going to go on and use the rest of this material for our fenders and bumpers and smaller parts. So let's start by pouring this one in there. Slowing it down as we get close, a little closer, right about there. Okay. And also with the reducer, I like to pour my reducer in a cup and then pour from the cup. This is a lot easier to control than pouring a reducer from a gallon can with a small spout. Let's pull this guy over here. Part reducer, right there. Then let's crack our seal. No need to stir or shake this. Should be fine. So I usually wait if I've moved something. Wait till it settles down. And sometimes you get a little bubbles along there. Just kind of have to estimate through that. One part hardener in there, right about there. That should do it. Cap back on. Also, in between using the hardeners, I store these in my refrigerator. Just keeps the quality of life on these a little bit better while they're winding down their time on that. I'll start mixing this. So no induction time with this, but I like to give it at least 15-20 minutes just so all the chemicals are talking to each other and cross-link properly. Unlike our primary urethane, which has a very short pot life, you gotta just mix it and go. You wait around, it can start hardening up in your pot. Okay, we're going to let that settle for a minute, and then we're going to take a look at a couple other things. Oh, kind of a fun thing here. So, got a little science project going just to see how much evaporation and shrinkage takes place on our clear coats. I sprayed this out yesterday. This is clear in the bottom of this cup. It's all hardened up now. And I drew a line on there and marked the date when that went off. That's my last spray from that. And then I did the same thing on this cup. It was March 28th. And I look at how much it shrinks down and shrivels up in just a few weeks. Amazing. I mean, this one here looked like this at one point. So I'm going to keep an eye on that for the next few months and just see how much more shrinkage we're going to get out of that. Really quite amazing. And then also, just thought I'd mention on masking tape. So these are most of the masking tapes I'm using on the car. These are all automotive grade. My green tape is a number 233, and the yellow basic automotive masking tape. What is the difference between automotive and some of these regular general purpose tapes? Here's also a green tape made by Scotch. This is a general purpose. It looks similar to this one, but it's not automotive. So the difference would be in the adhesives that they use on the tapes. Even though some of these are for sensitive surfaces and you can stick them to metal, not a good idea to use any of these tapes for masking any kind of edging on your project, because the difference would be in the glue and their ability to work with any kind of solvents. So these may or may not work, but you'd be taking a chance and you could possibly ruin an edge, whereas automotives are designed to work with solvent-based materials in mind. Okay, getting ready to put our material into our disposable cup. So this is a cup system that I'm using from SATA. I buy these by the case. There's 57 in a case. I'm using 125 micron screens for the filter, and this is the cap that goes on the top. So what we want to do is we want to put that on first. It's got like a double click. I want to check it once or twice just to make sure she's bottomed out. If it doesn't seal up all the way, put your material in, it'll start running out all over the bench. So get that guy on there nice and tight first. And then I always like to double filter my material going into the cup. And for this we want to stir one last time just to make sure everything's mixed really good. Go ahead and pour it in. Fill this up all the way, because if it does work out, I'm just going to keep going on the fenders. Okay, so that's in there. Get every little drop. Okay, and then, well, this is the lid system that goes with it, and this is our screen, and it just snaps in. Hear the click in there. So nice and tight. And then I keep the cup on the bench. Put this down on it loose. Once it bites and gets the right thread going, I like to pick the cup up with my hand on the bottom so that I'm not squeezing the sides of it. If you squeeze the sides, you could pop those threads. So gripping really good on the bottom, just turning it down until it stops, not to over tighten. Okay, and then I leave this on the bench and put my gun into it. Let's grab the gun. This is a cam. You see the cam type system they use. So what I'm going to do is just set my gun over the top right here, and then just torque it down. I don't want to reach the end of the cam. I stop usually right before there. That's plenty tight. If you override that cam, your cup could end up falling off while you're spraying. So then that's it. It's ready to go. Flip it over, and then you want to pop this right before you spray. If you forget to pop that, it's not going to spray very well. Okay, let's go get some clear coat going on that wheel. Okay guys, there she is. It's been about 15 minutes since our last coat and drying up real nice. Really happy with the way this sprayed out. That 2060 seems to be just the right product to put on here to try and replicate our factory wheel. And should be plenty durable to work with. Don't know what it's going to dry up like after 24 hours, but for now it's looking real good. And definitely needs a full 3 coats, so real happy with this. I'm going to wait about an hour to hour and a half before I pull that vinyl tape from the edge, just to make sure we don't have anything stuck there. And I'm going to move these out of the way and get on with the undercoating now on our fenders and bumpers. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.